and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Our very first guest in the history of Wilde Tausch, which will be, I'm sure, a long and distinguished history.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say daily 52 weeks a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
And then what happens?
No, then Tausch kind of bows out.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Wednesday edition. The training camp is here. Hip hip hooray edition. The Jesse Nelson is here. Not in my office, though. He's at the Tundra Trio.
You're not in my office.
You're not in an office.
Today, this is my office. And what an office it is, Jason.
Picturesque with Lambeau Field in the background edition. And we will hear from Goody. We will hear from LaFleur. We will hear from Bryan Bulaga. We will hear from Evan Cohen. It's going to be a busy first day of training camp edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the amazing, fantastic, incredible ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in Green Bay at our Tundra Trio as our cousin sub of the day for Tausch. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Not entirely sure why he's here, but we're glad that he's here, I think. And our cousin sub of the day for Jesse in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios is Owen Dimful. Owen, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Jesse's taught you well to hit the horn to celebrate your own appearance on the program. I like it.
I just got to keep the tradition going.
Some good mentoring there. Jesse, what brings you to our fair city? Are you coming to practice, too, to stand right next to me as we do the show together?
I would love to come document your day covering Packers training camp practice if you'd be willing to have me, or more importantly, if the Packers would be willing to have me. It is Packers training camp opening day, Jason. I don't know if you're aware of that. This is a huge day. Driving up here from Madison, I stopped over, got a bagel on my way into town this morning, drove around a little bit. You can tell there's a palpable excitement in the air. It feels like the first day of school. It feels like the first, like, move-in day on a college campus. Like, we've been doing this a number of years now where usually, well, when he's not on his summer sabbatical, Tausch is here for this too. But we get up here and we enjoy the opening day of Packers training camp. You're out and about at practice and at press conferences, and Dream Drive with American Family Insurance is opening right behind me as we speak. The kids are getting ready, the ribbon cutting, the bikes. This is an awesome day to be a Green Bay Packers fan because there's excitement in the air and everyone believes, justifiably, that the Packers may be starting a Super Bowl season of 2026 today.
Do you believe they're starting a Super Bowl season?
That is the expectation.
No, that's not what I asked. Do you believe that in February we will be in, where is it, Las Vegas this year? Is that where the Super Bowl is?
I hope so. I don't know. No, Los Angeles. Yeah,
Los
Disney,
Angeles.
ESPN, ABC. Yeah.
That's right. Do you believe as we sit here today, as the first practice kicks off at 10:30. Bryan Gutekunst set to speak at 9:20 Central Daylight Time. Matt LaFleur at 9:50. Do you believe that we will finish the year in Los Angeles with the Packers playing in the Super Bowl? Yes or no? Not that is the expectation.
No, I do not expect to be in the Super Bowl this year. But that doesn't mean that the Packers are not capable of reaching the Super Bowl this year. They are going into this season with the expectation and with the mentality that this is a team that is worthy of contending for a championship. When you have one of the highest paid and highest performing quarterbacks in the league, when you have the best defensive player in the league, when you have one of the best winningest coaches in the league, you expect to contend for a Super Bowl championship. That's been the expectation, thankfully for me, almost every year that I've been a conscious sports fan for the last 3 decades. And for many, younger, like Owen producing today, that's been the expectation for his entire life. So going into this season, just like many seasons before it, everyone's getting out to the practice field today. Those press conferences taking place here later this hour that you'll be there for with Goody and Matt LaFleur. Everyone is hoping, everyone is anticipating that going into this season, the common goal that everyone agrees on is contending for a division title and making a run at a Super Bowl in 2026, 2027.
Yeah, there's no doubt that that should be the hope and the goal and the expectation, whether or not they're good enough, whether or not they stay healthy enough. As Dorsey Levens, who we need to get on the show because Tausch referenced this a few times after he did the Tellurian charity golf outing up in the Dells. Dorsey getting after somebody trying to articulate, and a guy who played in, by the way, 3 Super Bowls, right? He played in one with the Eagles as well, who knows how hard it is, trying to explain just how hard it is. And the Packers now are 15 years, soon to be 16 years removed from playing in Super Bowl 45. It's hard. And you have to have a lot of things fall your way, and certainly the Packers are one of those teams that has, on paper, sufficient talent to get there. Whether or not they actually get there depends on a lot of variables, from coaching to player performance to injuries to bad bounces to things that happen to other teams. But it's going to be a really interesting season, and I'm very excited to kick it off. Now, again, it will kick off with the first practice of camp today at 10:30 a.m. at Ray-Nitschke Field. It is important to remind everyone that unlike the olden days when a young, baby-faced Mark Tauscher was a rookie 7th-round pick, this ain't in pads, it ain't double days. It's none of that. It is basically a continuation of what the off-season practices look like in helmets, jerseys, and shorts. So there will not be any major observations to be delivered. We will certainly keep track of who lines up where. That is one of the first things you notice. The Packers with, I believe, 10 players now on the physically unable to perform list, including Micah Parsons, including Tucker Kraft, including Aaron Banks, including Javon Hargrave. So some concerning names there. But whoever is healthy will start practice today at 10:30.
What was the deal with that Micah thing? Because that was weird a couple of days ago when they listed everybody except him on the PUP list, and now he is on the PUP list. Like, why? What's the deal with that?
Well, they didn't list everybody, right? They put 5 players on the first day, and then they put 5 more on yesterday. There were multiple players that, I don't know if it was timing of when they take their physical. The physically unable to perform list is exactly what it says. You are physically unable to practice. You have an injury that is either lingering or is new. Now, if you suffer the injury, like Chris Brooks is on the non-football injury list. I don't know what that is. They don't specify what his injury is, but more often than not, when you're on that list, it means you suffered some sort of injury while training on your own during the offseason. It was not something you suffered here at 1265 Lombardi Avenue. Okay.
Is it weird? I always think Scooter every time I hear that.
Scooter?
Yeah, Tyler Houston. Remember that name? Who played for the Brewers in the early 2000s? he ended up on the injured list. I forgot what they called it back then. The injured list.
Disabled list, I believe they called it.
Because he fell off his scooter that he was riding in the tunnel underneath then Miller Park, now American Family Field. He fell off his scooter and ended up on the injured list. So every time I hear a non-football injury or whatever the thing is that Brooks is listed on, the first thing I always think of is got injured riding a scooter. That's just a weird quirk of mine, but that's just what I think of.
I always think of, wasn't Jeff Kent, the old San Francisco Giants second baseman? Didn't he injure himself washing his truck or something? There's some story.
Hall of Famer Jeff Kent.
About a guy who did that. So
Jonathan Lucroy dropped the suitcase in his locker. Remember that one? He got hurt. The salad tongs. There was a Matt Wise was a bullpen pitcher. Salad tongs got him. He was out for a couple of weeks.
There's also Steve Sparks of Brewers lore, who tore his labrum, tearing a phone book in half after some sort of strongman came and gave a pep talk to them in spring training. So let's be careful out there today and make sure everybody stays healthy and doesn't get added to any sort of lists. But they will kick off practice today at 10:30. A couple of other things before Goody and LaFleur speak, and Jesse takes over the show for a little while from the Tundra Trio. The kicking carousel keeps spinning. The Packers signing Lenny Craig, good old Lenny, who spent last year as the International Player Pathway Program player for the Atlanta Falcons on their practice squad. They cut Lucas Havrisik, so now the Packers have released both Brandon McManus and Lucas Havrisik, both of whom kicked for them in games that counted last year. And now it is Trey Smack versus German import Lenny Craig, who, by the way, is not the IPP player for the Packers. They also signed a tight end from Sydney, Australia, who is their IPP player for at least right now.
I can't do Australia. That's good.
So it's an interesting time in the kicking game. And look, there have been players who were rookies who kicked well. Mason Crosby, the team's all-time leading scorer. Ryan Longwell, who joined us several weeks ago. Remember, he was a rookie for a Super Bowl team. There's also rookies throughout history that have not performed well as kickers in the NFL as rookies. We will see what happens. But right now, Jesse, what they have done is made it so whoever their kicker is, based on the two that they have in camp, will have never kicked in an NFL regular season game. And you opened the show by saying that the Super Bowl expectation is what that is. If your expectation is Super Bowl, how prepared are you to be in a Super Bowl with a rookie kicker? We will find out, and we'll see how Goody addresses the kicking situation when he talks in a few minutes. But when you saw this come across your desk, what was your first thought?
Exactly what you outlined just there. That, all right, it's Trey Smack's job. No offense to Lenny. Lenny ain't going to be the kicker for the Green Bay Packers in 2026. They draft Trey Smack. It's going to be Trey Smack. He's going to be the kicker week 1 in Minnesota and beyond. So to me, that's one of the major questions now in training camp, because it would have been, is Havrisik a legitimate candidate to still be the kicker this season, competing with Trey Smack? Obviously, that is not the case. Trey Smack is going to be the guy. So I don't, as a football fan, I'm going to ask Brian Bulaga when he joins in a little bit. I'm going to ask Tausch when he's back in a couple of weeks. And obviously, you've done this a long time. I'll lean on you all for your expertise on what we can actually watch for and look to take away from some of these training camp practices, especially these first couple where they don't really do anything. But it's very easy for everybody that's going to be sitting across the street watching this practice today to be able to see if a ball goes through the uprights or not, and from how far that ball is being kicked. And if he's missing, and that's going to be a question mark that fans are going to bring up, and that's going to become a storyline throughout training camp, whether Trey Smack, Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, or anybody else likes it or not. So that is going to be a significant development. Cutting Havrisik really makes Trey Smack, to me, one of the spotlight players of Packers training camp 2026.
And he was going to be anyway. But now you've got a guy who will always be the answer to a trivia question of who holds the record for the longest field goal ever kicked by a Green Bay Packers kicker at 61 yards, and who is certainly, no one's confusing him with Adam Vinatieri, but he's a guy that has experience, has kicked in games that counted before, and they have moved on from him. All right, I need to move on to Guti and LaFleur, who will be at the podium at the fancy schmancy new media auditorium with
what
the
are you asking?
digital...
What do we want to learn most from either of those fellas?
I guess you'll have to wait and see if I get my questions in. We will find out together after Tausch on tape tells us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. More Wilde and Tausch on day one of Packers training camp coming up. Stick around.
Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. While you're shopping for new windows and doors, should never include haggling. Pella sticks to straightforward pricing and honest conversations, helping homeowners find the right fit for their home, and they never use high-pressure sales tactics. When you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the same team that manufactures your windows and doors, they also sell them, install them, and service them. Real pricing, premium quality, no game. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Ben Bruss from Kyle and Bruss. Join us live at IKEA Oak Creek Friday, August 7th as we bring the fun and IKEA brings the flavor with their all-you-can-eat summer meat barbecue. From 3 to 7 p.m., you can dig into IKEA's famous meatballs with a bit of summer flair plus a delicious lineup of barbecue favorites, all for just $5 when you're an IKEA family member. It's the perfect way to kick off the weekend with great food, unbeatable value, and me and Kyle from ESPN Milwaukee. Not an IKEA family member yet? Well, sign up for free at IKEA.us. We'll see you this Friday at IKEA.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Life's better under a roof. At Grimal & Associates with American Family Insurance, we know home is where your life happens. Whether you're settling in, renovating, or simply enjoying the space you've built, your home deserves coverage that is tailored to you for what life brings next. Contact Grimal & Associates Insurance at 414-332-0838.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Selling your home is more than putting a sign in the yard. It's about having the right team beside you. I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams. We help relieve unnecessary stress with our team's expert listing process, strong negotiation skills, and fast, clear communication. Our white glove service experience is provided at every price point and every step of the way. Start your home journey today by searching online. Tony Wendorf. Tony Wendorf & Associates, a real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Write It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Brian Butch here. From high school All-American to Division I to the pros, I know every detail matters when it comes to performance. And right now, Iron Jock is giving you one more reason to gear up. Now through August 2nd, score our best deal on the Iron Jock Basics Bundle. Get a pair of Iron Jock boxers, crew socks, and a t-shirt for just $57.50. Iron Jock products are moisture wicking and powered by silver ion technology to help fight odor-causing bacteria. Iron Jock, built on performance, built to last, built in Wisconsin. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Wisconsin State Fair turns 175 this summer, and we only get better with age. Join us for 11 days of fun, iconic traditions, grand champion moments, and food that's absolutely worth the hype. Celebrate 175 years together and get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th. We'll see you there.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It's what I've always dreamed of, and it's what all the YouTube dwellers have always feared. It's the Jesse Show on Wilde Tausch. Heck yeah! Jason Wilde in attendance at Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur's season opening press conferences. I guess that's what those are here this morning right over there. If you're watching along on the video stream at Lambeau Field, I am at the Tundra Trio, our tailgate houses right in the shadow of Lambeau Field across the parking lot near the tailgate village, the AmFam Dream Drive. Big day here in Green Bay. Packers training camp opening day. The team's set to take to the practice field a little more than an hour from right now, riding the bikes that all the kids will provide over on the AmFam Dream Drive. Going to be a big day here in Green Bay, the first of several training camp practices open to the public here this season. We'll hear Jason Wilde's questions for Brian Gutekunst and for Matt LaFleur to open up this season, and then he will share his insights and observations from across the street over there. I'm pointing to now near the Don Hudson Center, Rainichke Field, where Packers training camp practice number 1 on a beautiful sunshiny day out here in Green Bay is set to take place here in just a little bit. Don't worry, it's not just going to be the Jesse Show for much longer. I promise. We did this intentionally. Brian Bulaga, scheduled to appear coming up next. He'll share his insights. I'm really curious what his first training camp experiences were like as a member of the Green Bay Packers, especially teams knowing that they had a chance to go win a Super Bowl. If you're a veteran player, if you're a rookie player, if you're an experienced player returning, what's the mentality like? I'll ask that of Brian Bulaga and a lot more. Of course, on the offensive line, as he is scheduled to appear coming up next. And then immediately after Brian Bulaga, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. If you're a fan of the television, maybe you saw him on First Take. He's been hosting First Take a bunch lately during the Stephen A. Smith summer sabbatical season. A lot of that going around these days. Evan Cohen scheduled to appear just after the start of the 10 o'clock hour. And by then, Jason will be back, ready to go. Training camp practice getting underway. A lot of fun in store for you here over the next 2 hours and 45 minutes or so of Wilde and Tausch live in Green Bay on the opening day of Green Bay Packers training camp practice. I have a tradition that I started my first year working here at ESPN Madison, and I don't think anybody else knows about it. It is my 3 training camp questions that I always share on the opening day of Packers training camp. I usually do it when Jason and Tausch are in a spot like this where they are not on the program on this day, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Jason already has addressed one of my big questions heading into this training camp for the Green Bay Packers, because here's the thing. There's questions about the offensive line. There's questions about corner. There's questions about the health of Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, wide receivers. How's that going to look this year? But not all of that can be answered in the next month leading up to the start of the season. What I try to identify when I share these questions are questions that we can actually learn answers to at the 13 training camp practices that are open to the public, plus family night and the preseason games. So here we go. My 3 training camp questions for the Green Bay Packers as we kick off the 2026 season. Thanks for the special music, Owen. I see you got in early today to get that ready for me here. Question number 1, Jason already talked about it. Is the ball getting smacked between the goalposts. Havrisik's out. McManus out. Lenny ain't getting the job. This is all Trey Smack, the rookie that Brian Gutekunst selected in the NFL draft. Traded up for Trey Smack back in April. He's going to be the guy. We will be able to know in the next month if Trey Smack is good at kicking a football through the uprights. We will be able to see that at practice. We'll be able to see that outdoors when there's windier days, if there's a rainy day and they're playing through the drizzle outside. And Jason's under his umbrella giving us the updates here on Wilde Tausch. We will know if Trey Smack is good at kicking a football through the uprights by the end of this training camp. So that is my number one question. Is the ball getting smacked through the uprights? Because that is something we will know if it's a significant level of concern or just a casual concern that we won't know an answer to until he's kicking the ball in January in the postseason. Number 2, how angry is everyone returning from last season? Fans are angry. I think we've gotten the sense that Goody and Matt LaFleur and Tucker Kraft, when they've spoken publicly this offseason, they're upset about how last season ended. The message of finish strong, that is not something we're going to know until the regular season kicks off. And we may not know it until the end of the season. What we will know when the players are meeting with Jason and Rob Domofsky and the other members of the media, whether it's before practices, after practices, all throughout the next month, we will get a sense of how angry this team is after last season. I, for one, want to hear angry Packers heading into 2026. We've heard, going back to that post-game after the game at Soldier Field in January in the wild card round of the playoffs, we've heard how angry the fans are. How angry is Micah Parsons? How angry is Christian Watson? How angry is Matthew Golden? And I'm not talking about like confrontational angry. I'm talking about motivational angry. That's the tone that I want set for the 2026 Green Bay Packers. How angry are they? What are we going to hear from them over the span of the next month when they're meeting with the media, getting ready for this 2026 season? And then lastly, Gannon Ball. How is the defense adjusting to its new coordinator? Again, we won't see the results until the games are being played for real in September, and even realistically, we'll have a better assessment of that in October, November as the season goes on. But we will know in the first month during these open training camp practices if the defense is getting torched and if guys are saying there's hesitation, and Jonathan Gannon will speak with the media at some point, I would assume. I don't know. He never did an introductory press conference, so you never know. I want to know, how is the defense adapting to this? Because, quite frankly, for the first time in a long time, that really wasn't a concern going into last season with Jeff Hafley as the defensive coordinator. Now there's question again with the new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, coming in, leading that side of the ball. How is the defense adjusting to that? A lot of the same returning players from last year. A couple are gone. Got a couple of new experienced veterans that are going to be stepping in. Zaire Franklin leading the charge there. What's that going to look like on the defensive side of the ball? What does Gannon Ball look like for the 2026 Green Bay Packers defense? Those are some questions that we will be able to find answers to during training camp practices starting today across the street here in Green Bay. Those are my 3 training camp questions heading into the 2026 season as camp kicks off. First practice in about an hour. What are your big questions? Let us know on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Text those in. Drop them in the YouTube comments. I'll have Owen check those out. I'm not sure I'm going to monitor YouTube today, but he'll check those out. And we'll recycle some of those as we continue on when Jason returns. Because like you said, this is going to be a non-padded practice. It's not going to be a big deal across the street today, so we'll have plenty of time to review your questions and speculate what the biggest concerns are for the 2026 Green Bay Packers, and questions we want answers to in training camp. Not questions about how the team's going to perform in the playoffs, not questions about if they're going to win the NFC North and what they'll look like week 1 against Minnesota or against Chicago in October and later in the year. I want to know the questions that we can actually get answers to during training camp. And Jason takes some of those to heart, too. We'll see if he can get some answers for us when he meets with Matt LaFleur and coordinators and these players in the locker room over the span of the next month. Let us know what your questions are. 844-770-3776. Brian Bulaga scheduled to appear coming up next. I want to know what his biggest question is for the 2026 Green Bay Packers kicking off training camp today. We'll get his insights, his questions, and a little bit more coming up next. But first, You remember that phone number, 844-770-3776? You're going to want to know that right now if you and a guest want to head to the Wisconsin State Fair. That's right. Summer's biggest tradition is back. The Wisconsin State Fair returning August 6th through the 16th with 11 days of family fun. Enjoy legendary cream puffs. Everybody loves those cream puffs. Can't miss fair foods, live music, thrilling rides in Spin City, amazing animal exhibits, shopping, entertainment around every corner. Whether you're craving a classic corn dog or this year's newest food creations, deep-fried something's going to be there. You know it. There's something for everyone at the Wisconsin State Fair. Get your tickets today. Start planning your visit at wistatefair.com or be caller number 8 right now at 844-770-3776. You and a guest, 2 tickets to the Wisconsin State Fair here in 2026. Caller number 8 right now, 844-770-3776. We'll see you at the Wisconsin State Fair. And we'll see Brian Bulaga scheduled to appear coming up next. Training camp, opening day in Green Bay. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate exhibits, trade show booths become magnets, lobbies become living stories, break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
The best summer moments aren't always planned, and that's why Carbless is made for whatever's next. Delivering bold flavor in a convenient canned cocktail, Carbless is ready to go wherever summer takes you. With 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and only 100 calories, it fits seamlessly into your lifestyle so that you can enjoy every summer moment with Bliss. And while you're making the most of the season, try the limited-time Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack or the Lemon Iced Tea 4-pack before they're gone. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip. Find your Bliss near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
When your team needs custom gear, don't wing it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and More is your local partner for high-quality apparel with hands-on design help and services that actually feel, well, helpful. For your business, teams, or events, Big Frog makes it easy. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon today.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code FAST to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code FAST to borrow up to $10,000. Use code FAST to borrow up to $10,000.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered flexible hours, competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde Tausch on Packers training camp opening day 2026. Exciting day. Jason Wilde in attendance right now over there at Lambeau Field. Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst meeting with the media before practice. Chickens. Should do it after practice. Tell us what they saw from day one out on the training camp field. Mark Tauscher's on his summer sabbatical. I'm Jesse Nelson, normally the producer of the show. Today I'm the cousin sub of the day here live in Green Bay in the shadows of Lambeau Field. Lambeau's there. Ray Nitschke Field's over there. Don Hudson Center across the street. We are ready for Packers Training Camp 2026. Who better to break it down than this guy? Certainly better than me at breaking it down. Joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. It's my friend Brian Bulaga on Wilde Tausch. Blue, happy training camp opening day to you, sir.
Yeah, happy training camp opening day. No, it was never my favorite day.
Why not?
I mean, ask a guy who loves training camp that played, and you're not going to get too many guys that say, I loved it.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me, and I understand, as you get to become a grizzly old veteran, you're like, we got to get back at this again. Just get me to September 13th. Get me to kickoff of the season. But when you're a rookie or a young player and you're stepping into that locker room and onto that practice field in front of these diehard fans who took a Wednesday off of work to come watch you out here, the kids with the bikes on the AmFam Dream Drive here across the parking lot, you're telling me there's not a palpable excitement in the air for a lot of the players that are getting out on the practice field today? There's got to be at least some level of excitement for those players.
I think as young guys, it's a mix between some excitement and anxiousness, nervousness, a little anxiety. It's the start of their journey, and unfortunately, I know this is a Debbie Downer. It's going to be the end of their journey in about 4 or 5 weeks. So, there's all those emotions that go into it, and as you get older, this is just another, step to get to the regular season, and that's really what you're looking for. You're looking to kick off rust. Obviously, there's a lot of hoopla that goes along with it in training camp. But you're looking to get your body and mind and technique ready for the regular season. And the first game I always looked at is let's get to the preseason games as fast as we can, because that's when regular season type scheduling starts to come in and normality sets in. These first few weeks are what they call the dog days of camp. And if someone likes that, that's really good for them. I applaud them, and, but I also think a part of them would be lying as well. So I don't know if I'd believe him 100%.
All right, Buzzkill Bulaga joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline today. Way to kill the vibe, Blue. This is Jason and Tausch.
You want honesty, or do you want me to lie? You want me to lie about it, or?
I like you shooting straight. That's what we love about you. But Tausch and I and Jason, we've all been coming up here doing the show here. The show's been going 10 years. We've been doing this since I've been part of the show. which was 8 years ago, coming up here for training camp opening day and celebrating the AmFam Dream Drive and everybody getting
which
on
is
the
a great
practice
thing.
field.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's awesome what the kids are doing.
I
what
agree.
AmFam does.
I agree. I agree with that. I've never said anything about that.
But Tausch has made the first day of school comparison a bunch of times. Jason, obviously, he's excited about a day like today's. Talking to Bryan Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur right now with other members of the media in that brand spanking new auditorium over there at Lambeau Field. They're finally breaking that thing in. It's an exciting day because if this is a Super Bowl caliber team heading into the 2026 season today, not OTAs back in May, not the draft in April. Like, this is the first day, the first step at what could be the championship season of 2026 for the Green Bay Packers.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, like, there's different ways to look at it from different perspectives, right? Like, I mean, I think that's the way I see it. I think from a player standpoint, depending on, like you mentioned, where you are in your career, right? Like, if you're a guy that's in year 6, 7, 8 in your career, I mean, training camp's training camp. It's not like you've experienced one, you've experienced another one. It's not like there's a bunch to be excited about. The excitement more picks up when you know you're edging closer to the start of the regular season. For me, that was always once family night got done and over with, that's when I knew we were going into what we looked at more as a in-season game prep, regular season mentality. And that's when, for me, the excitement normally picked up. It was, okay, we're done with the training camp, portion of this thing. And now we're going into real life mode, which is getting ready for a season and getting ready for your week 1 opponent and things like that. The mentality would shift a little bit. And for guys that are brand new, that are the rookies, maybe second-year guys, maybe guys that are looking to hang on to a roster spot. Yeah, there's excitement. Like I said, there's anxiety. There's a lot of different emotions flooding you at this point in time because this is the first day you get to start proving you belong or you need a bigger role or things like that, or you should be on the roster in general, right? Like, this is a big start to a big month and some change. But I'm just being honest about training camp. Like I used it for obviously redialing in my playbook, getting refreshed on that, and then obviously getting the technique down. And to sit here and say I walked in day 1 and go, man, I am so excited. I cannot wait to put on pads and be out in 90-degree heat and humidity in Green Bay. I'm really excited about it. Like, I'd be lying to you, but like, again, the mentality changes. For me, always when we got past family night. When we got past family night, to me, it felt real. Like, okay, the season is really upon us now. Like, we're going to start getting ready for week 1. The first couple weeks, you're getting guys in football condition. You're it's kind of a jockeying of like who's rising to like, if there's position battles, those are kind of getting sorted out in the first few weeks and things like that. And there's benefits to it. Obviously, the rules have changed on how guys can do things now with pads and how all that has worked itself out. But I always looked at it as that there was a demarcation point in camp that it felt real at that point in time. This is the start of the dog days of training camp for these guys, and it's a time for them to get mentally tougher and work things out before the actual bright lights come on.
I can't wait for Brandon Cisse, his first NFL training camp practice later today, to be like, yeah, kind of sucked being out there in the heat and the humidity. Oh, man, I don't know. I wish we were still back home. He obviously won't say that, but that'd be funny if he did. Like, it was being honest about it.
No, I don't think anyone's like, I'd rather be home. But, like, I think people, especially young guys, they don't know. I didn't know any better. They don't know any better. It's more of guys that have been there for a while, right? Like, you're looking at guys probably like Jordan, probably like Jacobs, probably even, Tucker Kraft's coming back from injury, so he's got his own process that he's going through right now, obviously. But guys that have been there, been around, and been through these things, they're looking forward to what is to come, and that's the regular season, right? Like, I get this is in preparation for the regular season, and you need these steps. But your excitement level and where things are at starts to ramp up as camp goes on. It's not start excited and then your excitement level goes down, so to speak. To me, it was always, it started low and ramped up as we got closer to actual week one and when things mattered. And that's, I guess that's, in a long story short, that's what I mean.
All right. One question for Brian Buzzkill here before we take a break, and then we're going to dive into some of the storylines coming up. I want to know your biggest question about training camp here coming up. But first, Rob in Michigan texts in on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. What is Brian Bulaga's best training camp story, either from the dorms or out on the practice field? What's your best training camp story from your illustrious career?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stories that happen. I mean, on the field, there were a couple really fun big fights that happened throughout our time that were really fun, and you watch it back on tape in meetings that night, and it's actually really funny to watch. Those were always fun to kind of
That's just such a funny side. Like, yeah, there was this huge fight. It was so funny to watch it back. Like, do the guys that are in the fight think that, or are they like still irritated with each other?
I think by the time we get to those meetings later in the day, guys are over it. At least I think so. I was never like the one that started, because it's training camp, man. Like I'm not wasting energy on starting fights with guys unless someone's really looking to get into one. Then you kind of have to, as they say, step up to the plate. But I never really got into those, but there were some that were bench clears, man. We're talking both sides, full melees. And it was always fun to watch those back on tape to see what exactly started it and then what everyone's doing as it's happening. That was always exciting to watch and fun. And but the dorm stories, I mean, some can be said, some, probably shouldn't be said. I know for a fact that towards the end of our time in the dorms, right, every year, Aaron and the veteran guys, they'd go crazy on the pranks and things like that. And I remember as a young guy just literally not being able to sleep that night because they'd get keys to guys' rooms and you would just have to be on full alert all night and just I just need this night to be over with because I know if I fall asleep too early, I'm going to get got. And guys got bad. Really bad. So I just remember my first 2 years, I would that last night in the dorms, I'd sit out in the common area because I'm I'm going to wait for these guys to go to bed so that I'm not getting messed with because I saw some of the things that happened my rookie year and I'm oh my gosh, dude, cannot happen. Cannot happen.
I'll respect the privacy, and I won't ask what some of the things were that happened. What I would like to know is who was Rodgers' primary cohort. If Rodgers was sneaking in everybody's dorm rooms, who was he recruiting as one of his goons to go with? Was it Jordy, Randall?
No, it was always John. It was always Kuhn. It was always J.K. J.K. was one of the main perpetrators with it too. It was all in good fun. Obviously, some guys took it a little more personal, but it was always in good fun. Listen, you're just trying to have fun in the dorms, right? Again, and this goes back to are you excited about training camp? Are you excited to sleep in dorms every night, not sleep in your bed? No, that's not really exciting. I'm being being dead honest, but you have to find the fun and make the fun where you can. And you do it in the meeting rooms. You would do it we were just talking about in the dorms when you got back there, guys hanging out and doing whatever, playing video games or cards or pranks, whatever it may be. You have to find that fun in training camp to get your mind off of football because there's so much football and there's so much information and it's such a mental toll. Then you got to find your fun elsewhere and kind of find some place to take your brain away from the game. And that was always part of it for me was in the meeting room when we weren't. grinding over tape, or it was back at the dorms when you could just kind of hang out and talk about how bad the day sucked and go from there.
Brian Bulaga joining on the Yuengling guest hotline on Packers training camp opening day here in Green Bay. Jason Wilde in attendance right now at Bryan Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur's respective press conferences before the team heads over to the practice field. The players going to be hopping on the bikes on the American Family Insurance Dream Drive. That's ready to open up here any minute with the ribbon-cutting ceremony. As we head to break, let's hear from Mark Tauscher telling us about American Family Insurance. Stick around. Packers training camp opening day on Wilde and Tausch.
Your ESPN. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
It's a winning explosion at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, Winplosion rockets in, bursting with $300,000 in cash and reward play. For your shot at winning, just play with your rewards card. Then join us for the Thursday night prize drawings. Plus, every Winplosion entry also counts toward the big WinFest Grand Finale in September. It's Winplosion. Big bang, big bucks. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
For 250 years, America has moved forward together. One generation, one family, one community at a time. At the Cunis Auto Group, we're proud to celebrate 250 years of freedom, progress, and the journeys that unite us. To mark this historic milestone, we're giving away 11 brand new vehicles with a total retail value of more than $250,000. Go online for one entry. Plus, enter in person at any Cunis Auto location, and it counts for 10 entries. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. It's our way of saying thank you to the communities we serve and the customers who trust us to be part of their journey. Plus, we have over 1,776 vehicles under 30 grand group-wide, with payments for every budget. Happy 250th anniversary, America. Let's keep America moving together. See official rules and find your nearest location at shopcunis.com.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Milwaukee's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. After your round, stop in the clubhouse for food and drinks. Call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde Tausch, training camp opening day in Green Bay. I'm Jesse Nelson. Jason Wilde in attendance right now at Bryan, Gutekunst, and Matt LaFleur's season opening press conferences. Jason will give us a full recap when he returns to the show in a little bit from the sidelines of Packers training camp practice number 1 across the street at Rainichke Field. I'm in the shadow of Lambeau Field at the Tundra Trio, and Brian Bulaga joins us on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. All right, Blue, I shared before you came on my 3 big training camp questions heading into the next month or so here. And what I specify when I share these every year is I don't ask questions that I want to know the answers to in January. I ask questions that I want to know the answers to before kickoff of the regular season as the kicker. You like that? Thank you very much.
Very good.
Havrisik got cut the other day. McManus is obviously gone. Like, it's going to be Trey Smack. We're going to know in the next month if he's able to kick the ball through the uprights consistently or not. That's something we will know definitively from watching public practices over the next month. Number 2, how angry is everyone returning from last year's team? I want angry motivation for this team coming off that playoff loss to the Bears, not winning the division more recently than every other team in the NFC North. Like, you can tell there's a little bit of an edge. LaFleur, Goody, everybody's talked about finishing this year. I think we'll be able to tell what the motivation is from what the players are saying, what some of the coaches are saying here over the next month in training camp, what the motivation is and how angry they are after last season. And then I want to know what Jonathan Gannon's defense looks like. Are they getting torched in practice every day, even in these little, like, 7-on-7s or whatever it might be? If the defense is struggling adjusting to the new defensive coordinator, that could be a glimpse of what's to come in the regular season. So those are my 3 questions. What is your biggest question that we can answer in the next month at Packers training camp?
That's a great question. And I think my question is, who's the starting 5 for the offensive line going to be? With Banks now starting on PUP, which with an injury that I wasn't aware that he had one. I knew that they rested him during, the mini camp, but I wasn't aware that he was going into training camp 2 months later, still injured. So that makes me kind of question what's going on with that group. Now, again, I know we've had a lot of questions about it, and maybe Jason's going to get some more answers today. But that puts that group in flux, and we knew that group needed some continuity throughout this training camp to build and work together with a new starting left tackle, Zach Tom coming back from injury, the center position, obviously, he was re-signed. That's Sean Ryan, that is. But he's still fresh to the position, obviously. Belton, the second-year player, looking to make a jump in year 2, and now you're missing your starting left guard for we're not too sure how long that is. What's this group going to look like, and who's going to be where, and who's taking reps where, and how is continuity going to build before we get to week 1? I mean, that was I normally don't put much stock into the PUP list to start the season. There's guys on there, obviously, that you expect to be on there, and Banks was not one that I expected to be on there, and simply because there's been a lot of time since minicamp that he missed by medical, whatever reasoning that was, that injury is not healed or something is wrong that has happened between then and now. So that's my biggest question. What's this group going to look like come week 1? And how much time have they even got to work together to be ready for week 1?
I think that's a great question. I had a feeling you were going to go offensive line with your question based on – and by the way, what you said last week with Tausch and I, and Tausch supplementing what you said about all 5 players, whoever's going to be that starting offensive line, they all need to improve pretty vastly from what they showed last year. That resonated really strongly with me. That's one of my biggest concerns heading into this season as a whole. My question for you as a fan, looking for the updates from Wilde and Domovsky and everybody who's going to be covering these practices for the next several weeks, how can a fan, either in attendance at training camp practice or just following along on social media, what can we learn about the offensive line? What's relevant? What's important? What should we be looking for? Help us be smarter football fans. Teach us what we should be watching for.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think people get caught up in the one-on-ones and things like that because I know Rob keeps a pretty detailed tally on those, and he always has and he always will. I think that's something that people find intriguing, and for understandable reasons, I get it. They want to know who's winning a one-on-one reps when mano-y-mano and things like that, but I don't think those reps really tell stories. I think they're more individual moments and kind of I group those with individual drills, right? Like if you want to see how a guy's technique and things that he's working on, those are good drills to watch. Like those are, to me, those are good things to watch. I never took too much stock in them, especially as I got older. I tried new things in those drills, if I even did them at all. I would try different techniques, different things to do to defensive linemen to see if they worked and see if they didn't. If they didn't work, they didn't work. And it's like, okay, well, let's not try that in a game because it's not working here. And you don't want to get punished in a game on it. But for me, it was a time to try things. I think if you're at camp and you want to see what a guy's doing, you watch them in the 11v11 drills and you see how they're doing from play to play, different situation to different situation. And you see how they're handling things. And if you're able to consistently watch them and see if they're continuing to perform at a good level, they're doing their job, they're winning their rep or whatever it may be, that's a good sign for guys. And that's how guys win jobs. They don't win jobs winning a one-on-one rep. Is it looked at? Sure, it's looked at and it's accounted for. But guys win jobs in the 11v11 drills and how they're performing and how their 1/11th is helping that side of the ball in team situations. So if I'm watching it, I'm paying attention to what's happening when it's Packer versus Packer, 1 versus 1, whatever it may be, and see how guys are doing. And if they have a bad rep, how do they bounce back from it and things like that. So that's always what I would key on if I'm at a practice or if I'm listening to or reading what Rob or Jason have to say about what's going on in practice. That's what I would pay attention to.
Well, thank you for enlightening us. I hope that resonates with fans as we're following along, and that's what I'm going to now be watching for the updates on the offensive line in the coming weeks. Blue, we do have Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio scheduled to appear coming up next. So, shockingly, we're going to get you out relatively on time here. I know. Change of pace, right?
Wow.
I know you're going to be stepping in as a cousin sub of the day here pretty soon as Tausch's summer sabbatical continues. So we'll make sure we get a lot more insights from you when you're in for a full 3 hours with Jason. I think that's next Wednesday, right? So
I believe so. Yep.
We'll have plenty of time to dive further in, and maybe you won't be such a buzzkill next Wednesday with training camp practice in full swing there.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's what it'll be a weekend. Not sure where they're at. I don't even know how many days they get a non-pad at any. Like I have no idea how it even looks anymore, and what breaks they get, or if they're going to have a day off on Wednesday. I have no idea what things even look like anymore. It's wild how they kind of get a little pampered these days, which is nice. I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Seems to be getting easier and easier from what you say and what Tausch says. Like even I'm sure from where your career started to where it ended and where it's gone since the end of your playing career, I'm sure it hasn't gotten more difficult for these players.
No. I mean, my first year was the last year of 2-a-days, and it was absolutely awful. Like it sucked. I'm not gonna lie. And then we went to the 1-a-day the next season. I was like, are you kidding me? I had to experience the last year of 2-a-days when it could have
you'll
just
always
been
have that. It's special.
Yeah. Yes. It's a little feather in the cap, I guess you could say. I was the last year of NFL 2-a-days. Like winner chicken dinner. But no, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where they're at and where the team's at in a week of practices and things like that. And there'll be a lot of storylines and I'm sure a lot of updates and things that we'll be able to talk about in a week's time. So that's always a good thing.
Yep, looking forward to it next week. I'll give Jason your regards today.
Please do. Please do.
Will do. Thanks, Blue. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy, Jesse.
Bryan Bulaga joining us on the Yingling Guest Hotline here on Packers Training Camp Opening Day 2026. Jason's wrapping up at the press conferences. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike and First Take, he's been hosting a bunch lately. He has said some compelling things in recent days about the Green Bay Packers. You're not going to like them, and I'll ask him to elaborate further on them coming up. That's to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. As we head to break, Dream Drive opening right behind me, the ribbon cutting taking place with the kids and the bikes and all the fun stuff going on with American Family Insurance right now. As we head to break here, let's hear Mark Tauscher talking about American Family Insurance. Then Evan Cohen coming up next on Wilde Tausch.
Sundays at Lambeau just got even better thanks to American Family Insurance. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes for your chance at the ultimate Packers game day experience. Winners score tickets to the November 15th game, a pregame tailgate in Titletown, a signed Jordan Love jersey, historical Packer tours, swag, and more. Your dream weekend is waiting. Don't miss it. No purchase is necessary. Enter by 11:59 Central Time on October 14th of 2026. See official rules and enter at amfam.com/Packers.
Anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at walneylegal.com.
Mark Tauscher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss here for Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of the house this summer and enjoy a great weekend at Road America, located conveniently between Milwaukee and Green Bay in Elkhart Lake. This legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course has been hosting the world's best racers since 1955. Bring the whole family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. Camp on site, explore the grounds, and take in racing your way. It's more than a race, it's a full-day experience. Up next is the Moto Sports Car Endurance Grand Prix featuring IMSA, July 30th through August 2nd. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say kissing cousins, pack bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And we'll end this crazy game in a tie. Oh, my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
10 o'clock hour. Wilde and Tausch, Packers training camp opening day 2026. Live at the Tundra Trio in the shadows of Lambeau Field, where Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur have wrapped up their training camp opening press conferences, which means the AmFam Dream Drive ribbon-cutting ceremony taking place. The players about to ride the bikes across the street to Rainichke Field, where Packers training camp practice is going to get underway in about 20 minutes here in Titletown. Jason Wilde sharing insights and observations here live in Green Bay as practice gets started in just a few minutes. I think we have Jason back with us now. If I ask Jason, are you here? Will you say yes?
I will say yes. Hello.
Hey! Welcome back, Jason. We'll catch up on what Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur had to say to open up this season. But first, let's also welcome in the host of Unsportsmanlike, and he's been on First Take a whole bunch the last couple of days, and it sounds like he might continue for a little bit here. Stephen A. Smith on the Mark Tauscher summer sabbatical plan, it would appear. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio joins us for his weekly appearance here on Packers Training Camp Opening Day 2026. Hi, Evan.
Hello, Jesse. Hello, Wilde. How are you guys?
We are
Welcome
wonderful.
to 105.5 The Miz. Great to have you on.
You know, I was curious about that. So Jason Wilde sent me a text about a bit that was done about The Miz during Unsportsmanlike, and Jason Wilde famously refuses to listen to Unsportsmanlike 5 until 9 on ESPN Wisconsin. So I was curious, how did you hear about that, or how did you consume the 105.5 The Miz biz?
The Miz biz.
First of all, I want to be very clear. Refuse is a very strong word, and I don't think it's an accurate one. Do I listen regularly? No. It's not like a boycott, though. Secondly, we've got a great promo because obviously Unsportsmanlike airs across ESPN Wisconsin, and that is a promo that is played during our program, and I heard it, and I was like, this guy's, I've told you this before. We don't always see eye to eye, but you are the best of the best of the best when it comes to on the air. I am so impressed by and envious of you, but that was one of the most magnificent things. I had never put that idea together, but I think it was, I don't know if it was Canty or Michelle that mentioned the 105.5 speed of the pitch, and you just, without skipping a beat, sounds like an FM radio station. 105.5, it was just, I laughed so hard. It was so well executed.
But Jason, it was so interesting because they rightfully were talking about The Miz, and they were saying, is mile per hour 105.5, and I was like, 105.5 The Miz? Like, I've worked my entire professional career in radio. Like, I definitely came across that station somewhere across the United States, and it does sound like an alt-rock station. Like, it's actually a good branding for an alt-rock station, and I feel like maybe is that his fastest pitch that he's thrown so far? Do we know that? Has he thrown any pitch faster than 105.5?
I believe 105.5 is the fastest still, but
106
seems to be the next target. Yeah.
Right, but I think we want it to end on an odd number, so then maybe we could do the branding around ESPN Wisconsin is 105.5 The Miz. Like, we can make beer around that. Maybe we lean into this at some point, but the problem is we don't know what the fastest pitch is going to be until obviously the end of the season.
Right, it obviously changes, but he has been certainly someone that everyone is watching, not just Brewers fans, but now he has gotten the attention of national shows and national baseball fans. I am curious, though, like, you obviously have, because of Good Karma and because of your relationship with all of our shows and what we do together, you don't talk about Wisconsin sports appreciably more just because of your connections to the state, right? You wouldn't say that you go out of your way.
I would say wrong. I would say definitively wrong on that. Yeah, no, I would say we are. Jesse can back me up on this. Like, I think we are over the top conscious of ESPN Wisconsin and the amazing brands that include ESPN Wisconsin, the three of them, Beaver Dam, Madison, and Milwaukee. And I think that we definitely lean into that because Michelle is a Packers fan. So
thanks to
I
us.
think that
yeah.
I mean, Jesse, am I wrong? Do you feel like I feel like we talk Packers and state of Wisconsin sports more than probably, I don't want to say more than we should, but we certainly lean that direction, no?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Evan, because I know you've been talking Packers recently, because I asked Owens, our producer, our cousin sub of the day today back in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. You said a couple of things here lately that on Packers training camp opening day, I thought Brian Bulaga was a buzzkill saying training camp sucks and there's nothing to look forward to. It's not a first day of school vibe at all. That was fun. And then there's you kind of knocking down the Packers' hopes and dreams here in the last couple of days. Owen, play the one about 9 wins. I want to hear what Evan said, and then I want Evan to explain himself here because I'm not happy with what he said about the Packers the other day.
All right,
if you believe, and I know a lot of people, probably most, don't believe in team win-loss in games a quarterback starts. But just for sake of conversation, in the last 3 years that Jordan Love has been a full-time starter for Green Bay, they won 9 games his first year, 9 games his second year, and 9 games his third year. One would think 9 games in games he starts is probably how many they're going to win this year, roughly around there. So I kind of just think the sample size is there.
Evan, they were 9-3-1 and in the driver's seat to be the 1 seed in the NFC until they lost the best defensive player in football and a couple of other crucial players down the stretch last year. They're better than a 9-win team. They just got bad luck down the stretch last season, and that's how they ended up at 9 wins.
Jesse, how many games did the Green Bay Packers win in each of the last 3 seasons that Jordan Love has been the full-time starter?
9.
Fact.
Evan,
Yeah.
9.
Games he started. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in games he started. So, by fact, by actual fact, for whatever the reason may be, Micah's injuries, his injuries, other teams, Tucker Kraft, any injuries you want to bring up, by fact, the Green Bay Packers, for the last 3 seasons that Jordan Love has been the starting quarterback, have won 9 games in each of those 3 seasons. So if you're going to make a prediction as to how many games they win with Jordan Love as the starting quarterback this year, the answer would be 9. Why is that such a bold statement that I am making? That's not to say that they can't win more. It's also not to say that, Malik Willis won a game or 2, did he not?
Malik Willis was a pretty good quarterback here as a backup stepping in for Jordan Love on a couple of different occasions, yes. But
right.
the logic you're applying to this is basically, well, that's the way we've always done it, so that's the way it'll continue to be. Like, that's just not the case. They have Micah Parsons. He'll be healthy down the stretch. Okay.
That's because you took it, I don't want to say you took it out of context, because it's not that you took it out of context. You didn't include the context. The context was, what is enough of a sample size for a quarterback to make a judgment? So what I was asking was whether or not those 3 years was enough of a sample size to then predict the future. Do I think Green Bay should be better than a 9-win team? I do. Did it stun me when I saw that, and I was like, wait, 9 wins each of the last 3 seasons when he has started games? That confused me. He's better than that. They're better than that. But the results are the results. So I think Jordan Love has so much on the line this year in a good way, because I'm going to do something tomorrow. We're doing the time for ESPN Radio Rankum Series Top 5 MVP candidates. And I will give my top 5 MVP candidates, and it's going to be based on individual performance, potential individual performance, potential team performance, and potential narrative. In other words, I will not have Josh Allen in there because I don't know what the narrative is. A new coach is not enough for me. I'm not going to have Lamar in there because I don't know enough about what the narrative is. But Jordan Love has a narrative. The narrative around Jordan Love and why he could be considered an MVP candidate is because he's going to play, let's call it half of a season, without the first or second best defensive player in the NFL, which means in order for them to reach their goals, he has to be outside of the norm, which is a 9-win season for him as the starter. And he has to carry them in some ways to more than that without Michael Parsons. So all of this sets up as a baseline of where we can go. In addition, we were talking about the accolades or lack thereof relative to the conversation around the Packers for their head coach and quarterback combination in Love and LaFleur.
Evan, when you look at the narrative around Jordan Love, you talked about narratives there, and this is one of the things that I obviously deal with all the time from fans, because there seems to be one small group, I don't know how big it is, of Packers fans who just don't think he's that good. There were those that thought they should have been playing Malik Willis more, that kind of thing. There's another group, which I think is slightly larger, that is very adamant that he is the next in the lineage of Favre to Rodgers to Love. He just has, whether it's LaFleur holding him back or with the training wheels, which I think is what Dan Orlovsky said about him. And then in the middle, I think I'm there with a lot of other people, which are like, he's good. I don't know how good he is, but I saw this the other day, and I used it in one of my stories. Someone was comparing on social media Aaron Rodgers' first 3 years and his statistics as the starter versus Jordan Love's. And they're largely similar. There's a little bit of differentiation, but they're pretty close to each other. The difference is, obviously, Rodgers leads a team in the postseason of his third year as the starter to a Super Bowl title and plays great in a game to beat the number one seed on the road, and then plays great in the Super Bowl and wins the MVP. That hasn't happened with Jordan. More importantly, his fourth season as the starter, he wins his first MVP, throws 45 touchdowns, 6 picks in 15 games, throws for 4,600 yards, and now we know how good he is. I just wonder, when you look at Love and the narrative for this season, if he has a fourth season as a starter like Rodgers did, we're talking about him in a completely different way for the rest of his career. If it's another year kind of like the last few, then we're still kind of saying, well, he's good, but like, how big of a season do you see this for him here?
Yeah, so let me kind of go in order here, Jason. So first of all, I agree with you. I'm with you in terms of, to say he's Favre and Rodgers is too much. To say that they should have started Malik Willis over him long term is also too much. He's a really good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback who came along during a time in the league where there are a lot of really great quarterbacks. So it's maybe the tricky timing. That's part one. Part two is your Rodgers point, which remind me to get to at the end of this, because I have a question for you guys on Rodgers in that regard. So let me go to part three then. Part three is, if his fourth season looks like Rodgers' fourth season, then let me rephrase, fourth season as a starter, then like everything that's happened up until this point, we look at as, boy, did they handle it right, getting him to a place where he had 45 touchdowns and he won the MVP. So we retroactively look at it and say, the Packers did it perfectly in terms of how they groomed him to be this great and how hard he worked with his abilities and his commitment to be this great. So the flip side is, if he doesn't, nothing happens to him. He's still the starting quarterback, but those that think he's next in line would then just have to say, you know what, he's really good. And that's just about it. Like, everything else has to be great around them for them to really make a run at the Super Bowl.
What was your Rodgers point?
I don't know. Yeah, so we were talking about it after the show today, because interestingly enough, when Jerry Jones spoke yesterday, and it was kind of that realization for me, and I think I said this on the show today. It's kind of weird how little over the last month or two we've talked about both the Cowboys and Aaron Rodgers, and like how both things have been quiet recently, which is odd, right? So then Cam, who's one of our producers, said, which arc of Aaron Rodgers' career will he be most remembered for long term? Is it the early portion of Green Bay, or is it like the Favre part of it? Is it like the really good part of it in terms of the winning and the MVPs? Is it the end in Green Bay when he and McCarthy didn't see eye to eye and all the passive-aggressive stuff and whatever else? Is it the disaster with the Jets? Is it kind of just whatever here in Pittsburgh? Is it the family stuff, which, again, I would never bring up, and he's not only brought up his mom, dad, and brothers, he's now bringing up his wife as a reason for his retirement, and I don't know who that person is, and I'm not going to speculate, but I know that, like, I don't personally love blaming someone's spouse for any decision that a person makes. Like, that's your decision. You're in partnership with your spouse. No, I'm serious. Like, my wife and I are.
I agree.
Like, we're not perfect.
Yep.
We are in partnership with whatever. Like, if I stink, that's not her fault. It's how I look at it. I'm not going to blame her. If I want to do something, like, we're in partnership. We do it together, right? I thought that part was interesting. I may have said that backwards. But what part of his career is he going to be most remembered for?
I mean, first of all, I agree with that. When I saw him say that, I saw that clip, I was like, I don't, okay. Especially given how some people are very curious about the identity of said wife. I thought that was an interesting way to go about it. I
Well, do
agree.
you know, Jason, without revealing who it is, okay? Because that's not for us to do. Let me caveat this as much as I can so it's not taken out of context. Do you, Jason Wilde, think you may have a feel for who this person may be hypothetically?
No, none, zero, none.
Oh, really?
Not at all. Nope. I haven't asked. I haven't corresponded with him in quite a while. I have not. I'm happy that he has reconciled with his family. I know that was something that we used to talk about a lot during the days of our show together. But no, I don't.
By the way, if that's his entire family that he's reconciled with, just hypothetically, let's say somebody's doing First Take tomorrow and Friday with somebody that may have the same last name. Just so I know that going in.
Hypothetically.
I don't know that either. Like I didn't see Jordan in the pictures, so yeah, I don't know.
Who?
No, nobody in particular, obviously. Yeah. So I don't know enough about that to answer your actual question. Like, look, there was a time there are two windows during his career where, even with Brady playing and Tom Brady saying the things that he would say about Rodgers, even though he's not the winningest quarterback in NFL history, and didn't win as many Super Bowls as Brady did, Tom Brady himself would say he was the most talented. And that window from like 11 to 14, 10 to 14, and then again from like 2021 when he won the later of his career MVPs. I think those are the windows that are most remembered. If you're a New York Jets fan, you remember him differently because that's not, he came and was supposed to be the savior of your team and wasn't.
But you're saying when it's all said and done, dust settles 10 years from now, we're going to remember the early portions of the greatness, which I guess circles back to the original conversation about Jordan Love and how what you're saying is cool. If that would be amazing for Packers fans and the Packers if Jordan Love can be similar to Rodgers in those most memorable years. We're just not close to that yet, and it's hard to project that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's unreasonable for fans to wonder what he's going to ultimately be. I just think that our eagerness to say this is what this guy is. I get why so many people do it, but when I look at him, I think this could be it. And if this is his ceiling, is that he's just a good to very good quarterback, you can still win a Super Bowl that way. But right now they haven't done that, and he hasn't elevated to the point where Rodgers was when he was the best quarterback in football.
Not even close. I'll also tell you one other thing. Can I offer one of the dumbest takes of all time?
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
But it is because of your show.
Even better.
Here's one of the dumbest takes of all time. I'm a little bit re-energized around UW football because of Luke Fickell on Wilde Tausch with LePay last week.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
I've heard
and
that.
I haven't listened to him yet with on Part of My Take with Big Cat, but I will at some point. Like, it's kind of like what's happening here. Like, there's nothing to lose if you're him. Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and be you. Be the guy that was at Cincinnati that kind of had this, like, we're like rock and roll type mentality of like, let's just do this. I don't know what's gone on in the last few years, but something has changed here. Whether it's Sean Eichhorst, to give him credit on that, whether it's maybe, I don't know. This is what I'm dreaming of, and I have to go to LA in a second. I'm dreaming that all of a sudden Fickell called Alvarez, had lunch, and then he felt better about everything. That's it. I'm giving Alvarez credit for it. All right, guys. See ya.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike.
Maybe
I
that's what happened.
I will say this. I have gotten a sense from others that heard that interview and then saw him at Big Ten Media Day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost as if he said, "F it, I'm just gonna be me." And go ahead.
I don't think it's a F it mentality, and I think that's kind of what Evan was saying too. I don't view it that way. I think it's more like he's taking a breath of fresh air, and it's like for whatever reason, it's like hitting the restart button, which is exactly, I think, what we all wanted as Badger fans after what the last couple of years have been. He just kind of took a step back, and like Evan said, he's being himself now. Like, this is the guy that they hired from Cincinnati. This was the most highly touted head coaching candidate that Wisconsin was able to snag after firing Paul Chryst a couple of years back. Like, that's what this reminds me of. It's not a, like, I'm whatever, I'm just here, like, if it works, it works. If not, so be it. I think he's, like, reinvigorated, and he's just, like, found himself again.
I think you're right about that. I don't feel like, this is going to sound bad, but I mean it as a compliment. I didn't feel like we ever got like the authentic version of him. Like, we kind of got the what he thought everyone wanted from him version of him. And now I feel like we're getting the real Fickle. Mm-hmm. And again, the record is what the record is. And this doesn't mean jack if they don't win enough football games this fall. But right now, I was talking about this with Molly and Jim because they were down at the Big Ten Media Days for him talking, and it just felt like a guy that sometimes I wasn't quite sure on his authenticity. He felt, listening to him with Tausch and Matt when I was gone, and then hearing him at Big Ten Media Days, it is almost as if he said, kind of thrown caution to the wind and said, I'm just gonna do me, and if that's good enough, I hope it's good enough. I want it to be good enough, and if it is good enough, great. And if it's not, I'm gonna go down being me, not trying to be something else. And again, I don't know that. I don't pretend to know him. I do think, to Evan's point, Sean Eichhorst coming in has energized a lot of people over at 1440 Monroe Street, as more and more kind of opinions and comparisons come out from different coaches and different people. But again, bottom line, nobody cares unless you win. And that's obviously what Wisconsin has to do moving forward.
Jason, you don't know this, but this is a great place to end if we're going to be doing our Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All celebration message coming up.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Just going to throw that out there. This is a good spot to transition with.
Perfect. We will end there. I need to get to practice. So I am going to turn it over to you after Tausch tells us on tape about MoMA. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Mark Tauscher here, excited to tell you about my friends at MoMA. If you've been putting up with pain in your knee, shoulder, back, neck, don't just tough it out. Believe me, after all those years playing football, I know a thing or two about aches and pains. That's why I've partnered up with MoMA, the Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance. MoMA brings together trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, making it easier to find the right specialist and the right treatment for you. Whether you need care in one of their offices, the Surgery Center, Ortho Laser, which is what I've been using, Smart Scan, or Mosh, their experienced team is focused on helping you feel better and get back to living your life. Certainly helped me overcome some pretty bad knee pain thanks to the treatment at Ortho Laser that I've received throughout the summer. MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Man, I highly recommend seeing their team, as I personally have seen what the right care can do. Call or walk in or learn more at MoMaMKE.com. That's MoMaMKE.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi Rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Calling all teachers, IKEA believes you deserve more than just an apple. You deserve a standing ovation and 15% off. During IKEA's Teacher Appreciation Days, July 24th to August 3rd, we're saying thank you to the amazing teachers and educators who inspire us every day. Visit your local IKEA to stock up on smart classroom solutions, organize your workspace, or finally create that cozy home retreat you deserve. Then show your IKEA family membership and your valid teacher ID at checkout and save 15% off your total purchase. IKEA's Teacher Appreciation Days, July 24th to August 3rd.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Well, I'm living the dream again. Solo Jesse on Wilde and Tausch, only temporarily. Don't worry. Jason Wilde is on his way down to Packers training camp practice. I just saw the team working its way across the parking lot here, so they are just about ready to kick off training camp practice number 1. The AmFam Dream Drive Open, the players on the bikes, a tradition that is unrivaled in the National Football League. Packers players riding the kids' bikes on the AmFam Dream Drive over to Rainichke Field for the start of Packers training camp 2026. Jason will be sharing insights and observations from the sidelines coming up. We're going to play in just a moment our Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All celebratory message for the week, fitting from the special contributor you'll hear from momentarily. Then we're going to play trivia on a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, and that's what we're going to do. And then the rest of the show will be dedicated to the Green Bay Packers, recapping what Goody and Matt LaFleur said at their press conferences with Jason in attendance earlier, and, of course, the insights and observations he'll share as the Packers get to the practice field for the first time to kick off the 2026 training camp portion of the schedule. As mentioned, let's get to this week's Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All celebratory message.
Sounds like someone's here to celebrate with us.
10 years with this show? Oh my gosh, what a run.
Wilde Tausch's 10th anniversary is presented by Steinhoffels.
Greatest show on ESPN Wisconsin, period.
And this celebratory message is brought to us by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Tausch and Willie, congrats on 10 years. Willie, I don't know how you have done it. Putting up with Tausch for 10 years and covering for him for so many different times. But nonetheless, he is a Hall of Famer. And you guys have done an unbelievable job. We're here at Big Ten Media Day, and Tausch is not here again. But I know that he's working hard back home, and you guys do a phenomenal job, and I look forward to seeing you guys in camp.
That is, of course, Wisconsin Badgers head football coach Luke Fickell, sharing this week's Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All celebratory message, congratulating Jason Wilde and Mark Tauscher. 10 years of Wilde and Tausch here on ESPN Wisconsin. How about that? And how appropriate. Evan brings him up out of the blue at the end of his appearance, and then Luke Fickell shares his celebratory message. One Call, That's All, presented by Gruber Law Offices as part of Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary celebration all summer long, presented by Steinhoffels. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Jason always tells you, Gruber Law Offices, he hopes you never have to make the call. I also hope you never have to make the call. But if you do, you know who you can count on. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All, providing the best care, service, and representation is their priority. One of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. They get results that speak for themselves. Check them out, gruber-law.com, to learn more about their firm, in addition to what they do in the community, or call them, of course, 414-276-6666. That number again, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Luke Fickell speaking yesterday at Big Ten Media Days down in Chicago. If you missed Molly and Jim, weekday afternoons 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison, they were on site for Big Ten Media Days. You can catch their full podcast on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Watch it back on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel as well. And I do want to take this time to remind you, I've been working real hard on this, so I want to tell you that I really hope everybody has a chance to tune in for this. Next week, Saturday, August 8th, 9 a.m. to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. That is the Wilde and Tausch 10th anniversary special. Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. We've carved out that portion of the schedule for us. That is our literal 10th anniversary. The show debuted on August 8th, 2016. Our 10th anniversary special for you to enjoy. It'll be available also on the ESPN Wisconsin app in full podcast form. August 8th, 9 a.m. to noon. That's next Saturday here on ESPN Wisconsin, playing back some of the fun interviews the guys have had over the years, some reflection, looking back on some of the really fun times we've had on this show, and a few surprises along the way as well. Make sure you tune in and check that out. 9 a.m. to noon next Saturday, Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary special, presented by Steinhoffels on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All right, Jason's on his way to practice. Let's play trivia. Caller number 16, because it's been 16 years since the Packers have last reached and won a Super Bowl. Caller 16, 844-770-3776. Wisconsin Geography Wednesday is today's category. Owen standing by to take your call. Caller 16 right now at 844-770-3776. We're going to play Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia, and then the rest of the show, Jason sharing insights and observations from the sidelines of Packers training camp practice. That's coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch, and as we head to our commercial break here, let's make sure that we get a chance to hear from Mark Tauscher telling us all about Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Sorry, Owen, I put you in a tough spot here. I didn't know I was going to do this. Let's hear from Tausch telling us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford as we head to commercial break and take your trivia calls. Coming up next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here for Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Hard Rock Casino Rockford offers the most generous and most frequent promotions of any casino in the Midwest. And how's this for a little adventure? If you're not able to make it up to Green Bay for the college football opener, head down to Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Sunday, September 6th. At 9 p.m. on the Sunday night of Labor Day weekend, one lucky winner will receive a $45,000 credit, valid towards the purchase of any eligible new or pre-owned RV. That's right. Play now using your Unity card and earn entries through September 6th, and you could win a $45,000 credit for a new or used RV. Check out the full rules at casino.hardrock.com. Play, dine, shop, and enjoy live shows and the sportsbook. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Shields.com.
One of the most important concepts in sports is don't drop the ball. Are you dropping the ball with your estate plan? When was it last updated? Have you even done one at all? It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde for Walney Legal Group. There's a lot at stake for you and your family when it comes to wills, trusts, probate, and elder planning. At Walney Legal, that's all they do. Tailored documents. No confusing legal jargon. Just thoughtful guidance. Do the blocking and tackling to protect your family. Start a conversation today at walneylegal.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Milwaukee's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Enjoy Ozaukee County's premier golf destination, The Bog in Saukville. Featuring 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, The Bog offers a golf experience unlike any other for all skill levels. But The Bog is more than just golf. It's the perfect setting for corporate events, weddings, and group outings. Our team brings every detail to life. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, then enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy The Bog.
Wisconsin State Fair turns 175 this summer, and we only get better with age. Join us for 11 days of fun, iconic traditions, grand champion moments, and food that's absolutely worth the hype. Celebrate 175 years together and get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th. We'll see you there.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Homer here. I've been on this journey since January and have already lost 27 pounds and on my way to at least 30. What I love most is how safe and easy this program has been. No complicated plans, just real results that fit into everyday life. If you've been looking for a weight loss program that really works, this is it. For a limited time, get $200 off with our summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Jason Wilde on his way over to Packers practice. Training camp practice number 1 going on up here in Green Bay today. I'm Jesse Nelson, hosting the show across the street from Ray Nitschke Field in the Don Hudson Center in the shadows of Lambeau Field here at the Tundra Trio in Green Bay. Wilde Tausch. Thanks again to Bryan, Bulaga, Evan Cohen joining us during the last hour plus of the program. Fun day here in Titletown. Packers training camp opening day 2026. We'll hear Jason's insights and observations from practice coming up next, but first it's time to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Cool down with the summer shake from Cousin Subs. Enjoy 4 delicious flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and mint. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. And by Vortex Golf. Trivia winners this week receive a hat, ball marker, sticker, and a blade rangefinder courtesy of Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Let's welcome in today's contestant. I don't recognize this fella's name, so it is possible that we have a first-time contestant with us. Let's ask him to confirm. Robert in Eau Claire. Normally I'd ask you this off the air as the producer of the show. I don't have the ability to do that today. Robert, good morning. Happy training camp opening day. Have you played Wilde and Tausch Trivia before?
I did one time. I don't know how the regulars get in so often because I try every day, but here we go.
One time long ago. All right, Robert. Well, welcome back. I'm sorry I don't remember your previous experience playing trivia with us. Hopefully this one goes well for you here. It's a monumental day. Packers Training Camp 2026 kicking off today in Green Bay. Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia for you. Robert, question number 1. Which of these cities did I see an exit sign for on my drive this morning from Madison to Green Bay? So I came from Madison to Green Bay. Which of these cities did I see an exit sign for on that drive? Waupun, Waukesha, or what's your favorite Wisconsin city, Robert?
I'm going to go with Waupun. Jelly, go ahead.
Well done, Robert. And yes, that is correct. That what's your favorite Wisconsin city was pretty good. Question number 2. I wrote the question, of course, though. Which of these Wisconsin cities, Robert, is located closest to Lambeau Field? Howard, Seymour, Harrison.
I'm going to go Howard.
Good guess, Robert. You got it right. Yes, Howard just outside of Green Bay. Seymour's a little bit further, and then Harrison. We had Harrison. No one knew where Harrison was when I put that one in there a couple of weeks ago. That's near Appleton, just outside of Appleton is where Harrison is. But I like going with all the male names there for question number 2. Hey, Robert, you got the first 2 right. Chance for a perfect day here. Question number 3. Which of these accurately describes the location of Waubeka, Wisconsin? Just outside of Fredonia, near Port Washington. Just outside of Menominee, near River Falls. Or just outside of Janesville, near New Glarus.
I know it's not B, so I'm going to go. I'm going to triple A. I'm going to go A one more time.
I wouldn't do that, would I? Yeah! Way to go, Robert. And a special shout out to Tim and the fellas playing Sheep's Head at lunch at the shop in Waubeka. Tim was yesterday's Steinhoffel Sleeper of the Last 10 Years contest winner. I called him yesterday. He said he lived in Waubeka. I had no idea where that was, so he had to fill me in, and I said, I'm going to use this for Wisconsin Geography Wednesday tomorrow. So shout out to Tim, and shout out.
Either.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was a new one to me. But, Robert, nicely done. You got every question right. You have all 4 entries into Friday's drawing for the Vortex rangefinder and the Cousin Subs gift card and everything else from Vortex as well as part of that prize pack. Congratulations, Robert. Thanks for playing.
All right, thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Robert in Eau Claire, today's Wilde and Tausch trivia contestant, brought to you by Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf. All right. For those of you who are sick of me hosting this show, I got good news for you. I think that's the last I'm going to do of it. I'm still going to be here the rest of the way, but Jason returns. He's going to drive us the rest of the way, hosting live from just across the street. Packers training camp practice underway. Last thing I'll do is tell you, tune in to Light It Up, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Narrated by Bucks broadcasting legend Jim Paschke. It's the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks. If you're young like Owen or Ryan Wollersheim, our producer yesterday, and you don't know anything about the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks, you got to listen to this. From the Big Three to a Hall of Fame coach, it's the story about a generational team that brought the city together and brought the Bradley Center to life and made me a fan of the NBA. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. Packers training camp practice underway. Jason shares insights and observations. And also, what the heck did Goody and LaFleur say this morning? We'll hear all about that the rest of the way on Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's Ben Brust. ESPN Milwaukee is headed to the Wisconsin State Fair, and we want to see you at Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill. Join Kyle and me live from 2 to 5 August 6th, 10th, and 11th. Grab a drink at the new Sipsconsin Cocktail Bar. Try the Chimmy Bratchanga or can-dried bacon cheese curds. Then play Taste Great, Less Filling at 3 o'clock for your chance to win Milwaukee baseball tickets. Plus, Left's has a semi-private space perfect for your next group outing at the fair. Great food, great music, and ESPN Milwaukee only at Left's.
The first thing I thought about is, what am I going to do?
Peggy and Willie were injured when a driver ran a stop sign.
I was injured pretty bad, and they reached out to me and made sure that I got the medical attention that I needed to make that recovery. One call, that was all, and everything went well.
Here for you 24/7. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
You never know when someone you care about might need a place like Curative Care. For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. They help families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood. They connect parents with resources, provide guidance through challenging times, and create a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org. That's curative.org. Do it today.
Trying to keep up with the 21st century can really get you down.
When you need a break, come to Kessler's.
We'll turn your day around.
We have good air conditioning.
And we love making new friends.
The coffee's better than average.
Because we want you to come back again.
We want to be your jeweler.
My father told you for 29 years that he wanted to be your jeweler.
He put that desire in everyone he hired.
And then he gave us the company.
He transformed our lives and gave us the most fun job on earth.
It's easy to sell jewelry when you sell it for less than it's worth.
Come and take a look at our engagement rings.
And of course, we have thousands of other things.
When you're having an overcast day, come to Kessler's.
We're going to turn your day around.
Free jewelry cleaning done by world-class professionals.
While you drink your good coffee in a room full of diamonds and gold.
Makes you feel better, no matter what you've been told.
One thing you definitely want to see before you're done
is our exclusive Kessler 81.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde Tausch, which has basically been Jesse and Bulaga and Evan Cohen and a little bit of me, rolls on as the Packers' first training camp practice of 2026 is underway. A nice, large crowd at Ray Nitschke Field taking it in. And if any of them can play tight end, they might want to come out of the crowd and do so. Packers very thin, Jesse, at the tight end position. Not only is Tucker Kraft not obviously practicing, but there's some concern about a neck injury for Luke Musgrave, who did not participate in the back end of OTAs and the minicamp. And now we're looking at a scenario where it's a murky situation for him and his health and when he might be available. I know that we've been critical of him at times, but as Matt LaFleur said, I know his production has not been what he wanted, but he still has a unique skill set and they still value him, and not having him available and not having Tucker Kraft less than ideal at the tight end position.
What does murky mean? What does murky mean?
When you're talking about neck injuries, Goody said head, neck, and heart are the three types of injuries that you are extra careful about. And with Musgrave, it's a neck issue. Now, obviously, in the many years I've been here, we've seen Jermichael Finley's career end early. We've seen Sterling Sharp's career end early. Nick Collins. They're gathering more information. They were very vague about what exactly his neck issue may or may not be. But the bottom line is he's not available. And Tucker Kraft is still on the PUP list and doesn't have a contract extension. He is under contract. So it'll be interesting to see how that position kind of plays out in the early days of camp and what happens with Musgrave and what happens with Kraft. Now, Jesse, I saw Adam Schefter with Jen Gabe and Chewy saying that he has not gotten any indication that a Kraft extension is close. Whereas, like the Jalen Carter extension that the Eagles gave their defensive tackle, he knew it was close. He'd already heard that it was close, and then it happened.
That's kind of the Packers thing, though, right, Jason? Like with Jordan Love, was that last year or 2 years ago where it took like a week into practice?
Yeah, but we knew it was close. Like we knew going into camp it was close, and it's just a matter of when, not if. And when I heard Adam say that, I was like, oh, maybe it's not as close as I thought it was. But I suppose that's possible, that it's just they're keeping it on the QT and it'll get done sooner than we think. But again, he's obviously an enormous piece of what these guys want to be. And it'll be interesting to see exactly how it plays out. There is one interesting tidbit that I've seen since I got here to practice that we will get to in the 10 o'clock hour or in the 11 o'clock hour. Man, Jesse, how do you think the show's gone? I feel like I've barely been on it.
That's great for you. I feel exhausted, man. I've been doing a lot over here with Bulaga and Evan, and I think I've done a wonderful job holding things down.
Of course you do.
I'm expecting big things out of you in the 11 o'clock hour. We want every update we can get from across the street here at Packers training camp practice number 1. This is your time to shine, pal. We've been waiting 6 months for this.
Well, we will have some of those updates coming up when we kick off the 11 o'clock hour. I want to remind you, I've seen some of our friends from American Family Insurance already today since I've been here. I have to track down some of our friends from Associated Bank. And of course, they're the bank of the Packers, but they also are the bank with Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. So you get the best customer service in the industry with all the awards to prove it and all the great perks that come with Brewers Checking. From 20% off at the Brewers team store to up to 50% off select game tickets to discounts when it comes to the racing sausages, 5K and 10K, or the Brewers Baseball Academy. There's all kinds of perks that come with your Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. So go to associatedbank.com/Brewers to find out more. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. With over 40 years of experience saving businesses money, we are on a mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. Try saying that 5 times fast. Do you lose sleep at night trying to figure out how to make the next payroll? Are your vendors lined up outside your door? Are you cash on delivery? We can help. We have a proven process and strategy to turn your cash-sucking business into a cash-generating machine, so you can keep that cash in your pocket. It really works. We use it in our business, and many clients are successfully using it in their business. Ask Pam, who recently bought a business and asked us to help her see through the fog. Would you like to sleep at night knowing your bills are paid, take a vacation, or go out to eat with your spouse? You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us at 414-325-2040 to set up a complimentary consultation. That's 414-325-2040, or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now. It begins with Andy, who's one of the crew here in the Red Vests, helping fans get to where they need to go. Big fan of the show. I assume he's going to have to listen on the podcast or watch back on YouTube later today since he's working here at practice. But he wanted to make sure, he's from Ashland. He wanted to say that he's Team Tausch on whether or not Krivitz is up north. So he disagrees with you. He also was wondering if he could put a bid in on my snowblower that I haven't used yet. I told him this is the year. So Andy's obviously an avid listener to the show. When you can pull those references, again, we appreciate everybody that listens. It's an honor, frankly, without sounding hokey, that so many people do what Andy did and talk about how much they enjoy the show. But when you can drop like those types of nuggets, like was it Robert in Eau Claire who dropped a jelly go ahead? You know, you're certainly showing evidence of your fandom, and we certainly and sincerely appreciate that. All right, the Packers' first practice of training camp is underway. First I've gotten to see of Sky Moore. I don't know if he took part in any of the OTA practices that we weren't here for, but he had some sort of minor, apparently, injury because I have not seen him.
I forgot.
That's
he was
why
here.
nobody talked about him. Like we don't. I mean, and he's kind of an important acquisition given the importance of the special teams and having a guy who knows what he's doing on returns, as opposed to last year when they had Matthew Golden returning punts with no experience whatsoever, and Savion Williams returning kickoffs for the first time since he was a college freshman at TCU. So I don't want to be conspiracy theory guy. I have not talked to this player on or off the record, Tausch, in case you're listening wherever you are. But Keyshawn Nixon is not practicing. It is reportedly, I think I saw Rob Domofsky tweet this, because of a hamstring. Hamstrings are tricky, you know. You can certainly actually injure them, and then sometimes they can just be, you know, I feel something tight. I'm not sure I can go today. I can't. I'm not saying he's holding in by any means, so please do not misconstrue that. But one of the questions that I think we all had on our minds, I know Tausch did, was would he participate or would he get a sweetener in his contract, and would he hold out or hold in or whatever else? And as of right now, all I can tell you is he's not practicing. What that means, he may just have a slight hamstring issue, but I do think it's noteworthy that he was not placed on the physically unable to perform list. So unless that hamstring issue happened while they were doing like their testing, he passed his physical and now is not practicing because of a hamstring. So take that at face value and just say, hey, he's got a sore hamstring. Or if you want to wonder, I'm not telling you should wonder. I'm just saying that I would understand if you did. Now,
is there a line of demarcation, Jason, that Keyshawn Nixon battling a hamstring would become something a little more significant, where they would like? Is there a time in training camp, week in, 2 weeks in, whatever, where if he continues to have a hamstring issue, that he would go on a list of some type?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first day. I don't want to make any assumptions. Certainly there are guys that don't practice at the start of camp, but usually they, for flexibility's sake, in terms of, if something were to get worse with an injury, they start on PUP. So all I would say is that it strikes me as slightly, not catastrophically, but slightly unusual that a player who has an injury is not on PUP. Like, for example, they put Nazir Stackhouse, their defensive tackle, on the PUP list yesterday. He's practicing today. So whatever issue he had was obviously A, very minor, and B, they re-examined him today and passed him on his physical, and now he's practicing, right? Long snapper Matt Orzek, Goody mentioned he's got a calf issue. He is not practicing. That is problematic because they don't have any other long snappers, right? I mean, we're going to talk about kickers, and our guy Lenny and Trey Smack, they don't have anybody to snap the ball to them today to kick field goals, right? That's problematic. So we'll see how that. It just when I saw, because I'm at the opposite end of the field, when I saw Rob tweet out that Keyshawn wasn't practicing and he was told that it was a hamstring issue, it just piques your curiosity, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm also curious about Tucker Kraft because, as Owen has some clips from Goody, Goody came out very clearly and said that he does not think that Tucker Kraft, who has made fantastic progress on his road back from his torn ACL in his right knee, will be on the PUP lists for a super long time. Here's Goody talking about how he'll be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, very much a possibility. In fact, I anticipate him being out there sooner rather than later. The more work he can get with Jordan, particularly even when maybe he's not ready for the team part of it, the more individual work he can get done with Jordan is going to be important for him as he heads.
Crystal clear audio in that auditorium. Oh, beautiful.
They've done a really nice job with the place. Good video too for channel for News 3 Now when I do my 4, 5, 6, 10 and morning show hits live from, or plausibly live from Lambeau Field. Jesse, when you hear him say that, because we're going to hear from him talking about Tucker's contract situation next. When you hear that, though, that is we all expected him to start on PUP. That is in no way a surprise. Tucker Kraft said it himself during the offseason program. But when you hear Goody say sooner rather than later, even if it's just individual work, as a fan, that's exactly what you wanted to hear, right?
Yeah, it sounds like Drago's on schedule there. It sounds like he's right where he needs to be. So no concern, no. I don't know. If we put up red flags for when there's things of concern like Keyshawn Nixon, then I guess this would be a green flag that you would put up. I mean, all right, good. Right on schedule. As long as he's good for September 13th. I don't care if I see Tucker Kraft at all in a preseason game or anything like that. As long as he's good to go September 13th or whatever he's good to go to get started, like that's what I want to see from him this year. It'd be great to have him back for any real game action.
I don't know if we have Smokey the Bear, but like the different colors of threat level. Like, first of all, I'm not going to put Keyshawn in the red, full blown 5-alarm fire.
It sounded like yellow.
It's definitely does it go green, yellow, orange, red? Is that how that goes?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think he's
ascending rainbow order. I think is how that would work.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in a lighter yellow, and again, just because of the severity of the injury, no matter how confident I am in Tucker Kraft, I'm gonna put him in a little darker yellow as we move closer to the orange. It's not orange, but it's definitely a deeper yellow. Now the other part of the equation.
Where's Musgrave on that?
Oh, he's orange. I'm sorry. When you talk about necks and you talk about it in kind of the vague way that the Packers did today, I'm worried for Luke. And hopefully I'm just, being the helicopter beat writer that I normally am. And he's going to be out here soon and they'll resolve it and feel good about him. But again, less than ideal when you're talking about a neck injury. Now, the other thing about Tucker Kraft is obviously his contract situation and whether or not he will have that in place before he sets foot on Ray-Nitschke Field. Goody also addressed his contract and the progress that is being made there. Here's what Goody had to say about Tucker Kraft's contract scenario.
Yeah, there's been discussions, and certainly I think it's, both us and him, it's in best interest to try to get something done, but these things take time. And, we've gone through a bunch of a bunch of extensions this summer, kind of knowing this was going to be the one right about now. We have a little bit of time because he's just not there yet, but I would expect hopefully that would get done. But you never know how that, you never know how they're going to go.
Yeah, that's great. So when you hear that, Jesse, and you hear him talking about the other contracts, look, the other contracts are different. And I think he kind of tacitly acknowledged that, talking about building up to that, getting those other deals done. And frankly, they got Lambeau discounts. There's no other way to put it. All three of those guys, and Goody talked about that as well, the idea of being able to, remove some risk if you're a player and remove some risk if you're a team from having to overpay if the guy makes it to market and he plays out his contract. Well, those guys, I don't want to say they were easy, but they were certainly easier because there won't be, or at least I don't think there'll be, nor should there be, a discounted rate for Tucker Kraft. If Tucker Kraft wants to be the highest paid tight end in football with an average over $19.1 million a year, and he wants to get a higher percentage of that contract guaranteed than what Jaden Reed got, what Christian Watson got, what Devontae Wyatt got, then it might take a little while. So, going back to Smokey the Bear, when you hear Goody talk about the contract that way, are you more concerned about his contract situation than you are about his physical readiness? As I watch him run routes on air with one of the coaches here, like he's doing football-ish stuff. Are you more worried about him getting the contract that he wants and then being on the field than you are about him having a healthy knee to be able to be on the field?
That's a good question, because I was going to ask you the same question, Jason.
I'm more worried about the contract.
I am too. Now, here's the thing I do want to caution us all on, because I don't want to look at what Goody's saying here in a vacuum and just in this scenario. Like, I'm pretty sure he said similar things when Jordan Love didn't have his contract extension done. Was that 2 years ago when he came to camp?
Yep, good memory.
So, I think there's one of two ways to look at this. Either they're not really anywhere close and he's given a vague answer because he doesn't have a good update to provide everybody, or he's a business guy. He knows it's pretty close to the finish line. He doesn't want to let anything leak or slip or whatever because it's pretty close to getting done, and he just doesn't want to tip anything on it. So because of the track record with what he said about some other significant players like Jordan Love 2 years ago and how close he played that to the vest before the news became official at 7 o'clock on a Friday night or whatever crap that was that year when we were all on vacation up north in places and then this news broke. I'm going to not be alarmed. I'm not in the yellow yet, even on the Tucker Kraft extension stuff. I think once we get past family night, Tausch had said family night was kind of his target time, that he would hope that deal was done. I'm in that club. Like if we get to next week, Friday night, the family night scrimmage, or the Wilde Tausch 10th anniversary special on Saturday morning next week, August 8th from 9 to noon, and Tucker Kraft's extension isn't done by that point, then we probably go into the yellow and we're like, all right, what's the holdup? What's going on here?
Yeah, I would just say this. I'm not looking to sow concern or panic by any means. But I feel like when it was the Jordan Love contract, Goody had a different tone where it sounded very much like, it's just a matter of when, not if, and we're just working out the details these first few days of camp. Maybe I'm being influenced by Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy suggesting that he has not heard that it's close, which, again, I feel like Adam would know if it was close. Maybe I'm allowing that to influence my view. Believe me, I'm not saying that he's going to be pulling a Sterling Sharp and not playing in the opener, threatening not to play in the opener. I don't think he's wired that way, but I don't know. I thought there was a chance that we'd be getting an announcement today of that, outside chance, and that clearly isn't happening. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how it ends up playing out. But man, he's such an important piece of what they do. He is running a bunch of routes and catching passes at one end of the field while the 11-on-11 period goes on at the other end of the field. And Christian Watson just beat Carrington Valentine for a touchdown pass from Jordan Love. I'll be eager to see if you had to make me choose whether I'm more concerned about the contract or more concerned about his knee. I don't think I'm in any way panicked about the contract, but I definitely am more concerned about the contract. That's just kind of how I view it, and we'll have to wait and see where it ends up and when it gets done. But it is. I would, if I was a Packers fan, I would just like it to be trending a little bit more positively than it is at this point. Is that fair? Am I being, again, I don't want to be Chicken Little, and I don't think I'm being that. But I would like to see it a little bit further down the road than it is, and that is obviously not the case. All right, we've got more that we want to get to.
Give it a week.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm hearing 1 week.
He looks great. I mean, he looks great. He's got these. I will say this. He's got this 85 T-shirt. It's not his actual jersey, and I don't know how I feel about a T-shirt with a number on it.
The jersey.
The Jersey. Yes, that's exactly the word I was seeking. So thank you for that. I appreciate you helping me with that. The legendary Dennis Krause walking by as I stand here.
DK.
And, he does a lot of work in Milwaukee, and if he ever wants to just escape Spectrum News 1 for a day, he can swing over to Potawatomi Casino Hotel. You can start with the stay. Now, he lives in Milwaukee, so I don't know if he needs one of the biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, but they've got nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And if you're hungry, you got so many options, from premium steaks at the Dream Dance Steakhouse to pizza, burritos, and quick bites at the Marketplace, Rockin' Brews for that salmon that I love and their high-energy vibe, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, and the Cream City Coffee Company food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Elite play, luxury stay, bet on flavor at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
When summer turns up the heat, cool down with a shake from Cousin Subs. Our shakes are hand-spun with creamy vanilla gelato and blended into 4 delicious flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and mint. They're rich, smooth, refreshing, and the perfect sweet treat on a warm summer day. Whether you're stopping in for lunch, dinner, or just craving something cool, there's a flavor waiting for you. Cool down with a shake from Cousin Subs. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of banquility at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics?
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training.
It's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champagne of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champagne of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
For 250 years, America has moved forward together. One generation, one family, one community at a time. At the Cunis Auto Group, we're proud to celebrate 250 years of freedom, progress, and the journeys that unite us. To mark this historic milestone, we're giving away 11 brand new vehicles with a total retail value of more than $250,000. Go online for one entry. Plus, enter in person at any Cunis Auto location, and it counts for 10 entries. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. It's our way of saying thank you to the communities we serve and the customers who trust us to be part of their journey. Plus, We have over 1,776 vehicles under 30 grand group wide, with payments for every budget. Happy 250th anniversary, America. Let's keep America moving together. See official rules and find your nearest location at shopcunis.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
We'll get to some more of what Goody and LaFleur had to say before today's practice at Ray Nitschke Field. The Packers continuing practice number 1 of training camp, scheduled to go until 12/12, which is different than 11/11 when you're supposed to make a wish.
That's how they're
Jesse,
honoring Rodgers this year, right? That's what they're doing.
There you go. Before we get to something that I thought Matt LaFleur said that was really interesting, and more importantly, before we get to win, you have some texts on the Carbless Talk and text line. Liz is more seeking answers to pertinent questions that they may or may not be able to be answered by me.
Well, here's the thing, Jason. So I have a tradition on the opening day of every training camp that I don't even know if you or Tausch even know, because I'm pretty sure I only do it primarily when you guys step away from the show normally.
Then is it really a tradition?
It's a tradition for me, and I don't think any fans probably remember that I do it, but it's my little tradition. I come up with 3 training camp questions that I would like to see answered before the end of training camp, before we get to the regular season. Because I think there's questions about kicker, and there's questions about the defense and offensive line that we'll need to have answers by January or December about. But I want questions that we can come up with answers for from observing practice, from you being across the street here at Ray Nitschke Field over the next several weeks. So I asked for some fans to share their questions. Jim on the South Side texts this one in. Is there really a competition for backup quarterback, or is it going to be Tyrod Taylor? It's like I didn't even think that was a storyline from Jim on the South Side.
No, there is not, in no way, shape, or form. The competition is whether Chiron Drones or someone else, or Kyle McCord, who's the other arm in camp. It's Drones, McCord, or someone from some other team that'll be the third quarterback on the practice squad. It is, this is year 16 or 17 for Tyrod Taylor. He backed up Aaron Rodgers in New York for a while. No, he's undeniably period Finn, the guy. The question to me is, he's going to be 37, I think, in a couple days. I would argue the Packers had, of a guy that had never been a starter previously, right? Because the 49ers had Mac Jones, I believe, right? Behind Brock Purdy, and he played pretty well for them.
Yeah.
But he'd been a starter. Malik Willis had started 2 games in his career. They had the best backup quarterback in football last year. That's why he's now the starter in Miami. And Jordan Love missed 2 games, 2.5 games in 2024, and Malik was great in those. He missed 1.5 games with the actual concussion this year, and Malik Willis, everybody forgets because of the 307 rushing yards the defense gave up, was awesome against Baltimore. And then obviously he didn't play in the Clayton Tune Sacrificial Bowl. Your backup better be able to play. And certainly Tyrod Taylor has done that in his career. I don't know what to expect if he were to have to start 2 or 3 games for them this year. But no, he's the guy. There's no 2 ways about it.
Mike and Madison texts in. I want to know who returns and or emerges as high energy guys this year. Shouldn't matter if the pads are on or not. We need energetic guys leading the way, from Mike and Madison.
Do we think they lacked a certain energy last year? Is that one of our one of the concerns that some fans have about their? Of all the things you were unhappy with last season, was energy one of them?
I didn't think so. I thought there was pretty clear leadership and tenacity, but that might go back just to And maybe Mike's saying energy. What he really means is that finishing that everybody's been talking about since January, and really before January, because they struggled finishing earlier in the season last year too, and they talked about it. Like, maybe that's what he means by energy, like keeping your foot on the gas when you have a lead at halftime and you're up a couple of scores and putting your foot on their throats, like Tausch says.
Yeah, that came up again today with both Goody and LaFleur, and I got to be honest, first of all, like the finishing thing, and it's more Jeff Hafley than me. I was just the one that asked the question and then kept asking it because I wanted to write about it, tracking down video of the song from Metallica and everything else. I thought they finished pretty damn well when they had Micah Parsons on the field. Like I went through it today in my story on Channel 3000. Like he closed up shop in multiple games. Tucker Kraft closed up shop in that Arizona game, if you remember, right? Dontavion Wicks and Jaden and Jordan Love closed up shop on Thanksgiving, along with Micah Parsons in Detroit. Mike McCarthy said something yesterday in his press conference in Pittsburgh that I can't remember who sent it to me, but I thought it was really good. He was quoting Marty Schottenheimer. He said, in times of crisis, think players, not plays. And I thought that was really...
That's great, but that didn't sound like Mike McCarthy saying it. What did Mike McCarthy sound like saying it, Jason?
It's like anything. In times of crisis, think players, not plays.
Yeah,
and I think that's very astute. But he's right? Like, their finishing problems, they became an issue when they didn't have, do we think the Packers lose either of the Bears games if they have Micah Parsons?
No.
I don't. I think he finds a way to get Caleb Williams down in each of those scenarios where Caleb made, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The Bears don't even end up in a spot to take the lead, I think, if Micah Parsons is on the field.
Right. Certainly the
16-6
game that they lose, the 16-6 lead at the 2-minute warning. Again, Romeo Dobbs is departed and he's in New England and he's walking a dog to practice with the rest of his teammates, that's different than the bikes, that's for sure. But the bottom line is that I think players make you a good finishing team, and Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons, for all the other things they do well, they also finish games well. And I think they can talk all they want about finishing and they can change how they practice and whatever else. Bottom line is when you have the players, when you have your dogs, as Tausch would say, you're a pretty good finishing team.
One more question here. We're running out. I should save some of these for tomorrow. This one's from Don on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. The biggest question I have, do the Packers brass think this is a legitimate Super Bowl season? If so, I think the Packers have one or two significant additions to make before camp is over. This roster isn't there yet. It's from Don.
We will save that for a little bit. We'll save that for tomorrow because I want to have.
That seems I
thought Goody's answer to essentially that question was great. LaFleur punted on me. I even said, I asked Goody the same thing, and then he finished kind of like he wants his team to. He finished with a good quote at the end, but he kind of meandered before that. So we'll hear from Goody and LaFleur on what kind of team they think they have tomorrow on the program. For now, let's hear horn, as you like to say. Let's hear from Tausch telling us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford leading into Whoa Owen, which is coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
UW Credit Union, I say it all the time, it is here for every you, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. They are all across the state. They have a great app, easy to work, and it is a pleasure to be a partner and a member of UW Credit Union. Join today, like I did, at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Well, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, my friends at Sendik's have you covered. This Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4, stop by for their exclusive Links and Drinks event. Sample 5 of Sendik's signature sausages, including honey sriracha chicken, chicken bacon ranch, and island pineapple teriyaki, each paired with a craft beer, including the limited edition Sendik Centennial Anniversary Lager. And while you're there, don't miss the 2-day-only chicken salad flash sale featuring 11 unique varieties from Sendik's classic recipe to favorites like Thai peanut, dill pickle, and buffalo. And it's finally here, Wisconsin-grown sweet corn. Fresh from Sullivan, Wisconsin, it's just $5 a dozen. Nothing says summer quite like local sweet corn. Plus, Hatch pepper season has arrived. Order fresh or fire-roasted Hatch peppers by the pound or by the case at Sendik's.com. Head to Sendik's this weekend and enjoy the best flavors of summer at Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Well, let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the Buys of Summer sales event at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500 or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. Shop over 1,500 vehicles and make no payments until September. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
With approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Summer and baseball go hand in hand, and as a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, Carbless is helping fans swing into full flavor all season long. Whether you're at the ballpark, tailgating with friends, or catching the game from home, Carbless delivers bold flavor in a convenient canned cocktail that's ready wherever summer takes you. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 100 calories, gluten-free and full of flavor. Carbless. Find your bliss near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Some nights, you don't want a 4-course meal, you want a martini and maybe some fries. Girl Dinner at the Bar at St. Kate the Arts Hotel gets it. Every day from 4 until close, pull up a stool and enjoy a crisp Caesar salad, golden French fries with garlic aioli and ketchup, and one of St. Kate's signature martinis. Your call. No reservations required. You can learn more at stkatearts.com, stkatearts.com.
Wisconsin State Fair turns 175 this summer, and we only get better with age. Join us for 11 days of fun, iconic traditions, grand champion moments, and food that's absolutely worth the hype. Celebrate 175 years together and get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th. We'll see you there.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time now for Whoa and.
Topic is good. The guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, we're going to keep it brief today, guys. Last night, I had the enjoyment of going to the movie theater and watch that Uke documentary. And I gotta say, outstanding work in that production for Uke. The whole film just felt like it was just a bunch of stories being heard from Uke, from those closest to Uke. And being someone that I never got to meet Uke, but I always wanted to, it was just really kind of bittersweet. But it was just so cool that even after he's gone, he's still finding ways for people to laugh, to just smile about his presence and everything. And it made me think that I just want to know, do you guys have a favorite Uker memory or Uker story?
Jesse, you're the future play-by-play guy and present play-by-play guy. What do you think?
I don't know if you guys know this. My dad was an usher at Miller Park for 15 years. Yeah. And Uker always used to park his car in the tunnel underneath, like right in the tunnel. Like everyone else had to park it. Everyone else had to park out in the lot. It was a long walk to the car. Bob Uker got to park like right smack dab in the middle of the thing. And so every time I'd walk down there with my dad when I was young, and like he'd help me like lead me out of the building. He's like, "Oh, that's where Uker parks, but he's gone already." And the post-game show is still going on. Obviously, I mean the entertainment, the stories that we've heard from him as a broadcaster, there's too many to count and recollect because it's just so fun how he called the game, and I can't wait to see the documentary myself. I'm happy to hear from so many different people, including Owen, that it's so good. But that connection, just knowing like that was, he lived a little bit of a privileged life there as the home stretch took place when he was broadcasting Brewers games. But he deserved the special treatment because he was one of one, and there's no doubt he epitomized the team. And that celebration he would always have down the stretch of his final seasons calling games whenever the Brewers clinched a playoff berth or a division title, and when he was right in there with the team celebrating and all the media members capturing him being in on the celebration with the drinks and the champagne, like that was really cool to see also. So both of those kind of tie for my favorite Uker memories close to home.
Yeah. I got to meet him a couple times. Our old friend Drew Olson introduced me to him times that I went to. It was then Miller Park, and then also when I went out to spring training a couple times early in my career, and everything people say about him is true. Like he was always on and always funny and always engaging, and that has to be, if it doesn't come naturally to you the way it did for him, that's got to be difficult. Because I couldn't be on all the time, and he had a great way about him that everyone loved. Of course, for those of us that are old enough, his calls of some of the quintessential moments that were, I'm sure Owen got to see some of that in the documentary, but like his call of Yount's 3,000th hit and his call on Easter Sunday, 1987, when we're in the car because we left the game early, like all those things, they're so woven into your fabric of your memories as a sports fan, as a kid, and he's the soundtrack of a lot of those. So, and also, I cannot recommend enough. Owen, did any of these, I don't know if any of these got into the documentary because I haven't seen it, but like, he was perhaps the greatest guest in the Tonight Show's history. Like, yes, Carson loved him, and he was so good every time he was on. So I can't imagine being that naturally funny. He is the GOAT when it comes to that. Like, there's other great announcers in baseball history, but man, he was one of one when it came to that sense of humor and his ability to deliver that along with baseball insights. All right, that is Whoa Win, which I still can't get used to. We need to hear from Tausch again, this time about Jones Dairy Farm before we wrap things up here on Wilde Tausch. Here's Tausch talking about Jones Dairy Farm.
Mark Tauscher here for Jones Dairy Farm in Fort Atkinson. Jones Dairy Farm has been family-owned and operated for 7 generations in Fort Atkinson, all the way back to 1889. And when you say Jones Dairy Farm, the first thing I think is sausage. They're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe. It's available in pork, chicken, and turkey, and it's all made with fresh meat only, and it's all delicious. But you also can't think about Jones Dairy Farm without thinking bacon. It's life-changing. What makes it so special is that it's dry-aged for up to 3 weeks, which leads to intense flavor worth the wait. Jones Dairy Bacon is smoked with real cherry wood and hickory hardwood. Jones Dairy Farm also makes naturally smoked ham and Canadian bacon, Braunschweiger, and fully cooked meatballs. Visit the Jones Market, open Thursday through Saturday, just down the road from the Fireside Dinner Theater in Fort Atkinson. And find Jones products in grocery stores across Wisconsin. To make it easier, check the product finder on their website, jonesdairyfarm.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Michelle Smallman.
Lane Kiffin is not going to have a long runway here, and he is telling us that he has the resources needed to do it. I think he inadvertently set himself up to be tarnished. So you're telling us that it was the environment before that held you back from reaching the pinnacle, but now you've got it all. So guess what? If you don't get it done, you're the through line. You are the reason why you didn't win, because you're telling everyone I had to leave my kids at Ole Miss high and dry because this opportunity is so great and I want to win so badly that I can't pass up LSU because I can win there. But guess what? If you don't do it, you're saying that you didn't get the job done. Not they didn't get the job done. You didn't get the job done. And you want to talk about pressure? Coach O was fired less than 2 years after he won a championship there. And this is the personification of Louisiana and Louisiana State University.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champaign of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champaign of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here from MoMA. Battling a sore knee, a shoulder, elbow, hand, neck, back, or foot pain? MoMA can get you back in the game. MoMA is the new Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance, connecting trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, with expert care and innovative treatments provided in their offices. The Surgery Center, Ortho Laser, Smart Scan, or MOSH. With the best orthopedic care and recovery, MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Call or walk in today. Visit MoMAMKE.com. That's MoMAMKE.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Just a short drive from Milwaukee and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. And on-site camping lets you stay all weekend. Up next is the Moto Sports Car Endurance Grand Prix featuring IMSA, July 30th through August 2nd. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets the outdoors. Check out roadamerica.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wrapping things up on Wilde Tausch as the Packers are wrapping things up with their first practice of training camp. By the way, I missed our Grubelov's celebratory one call that's all well wish. I heard it was from the head football coach of the University of Wisconsin.
How about that? Yeah, Luke Fickell saying congratulations on the 10-year anniversary.
I'll have to check that out on the ESPN Wisconsin app a little bit later. But that is presented, of course, by David Gruber and Grubelov's one call. That's all. I hope David did one because I'm looking forward to that one. And congratulations to him on nearly 40 years of being the best in the business when it comes to injuries and representing those that are injured. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, or make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Jesse, we'll have all kinds of clips for tomorrow. We got locker room coming up here in a little while after practice ends. I don't think that, generally speaking, the first day of training camp, while it's got that, as you kind of called it, that back to school excitement and the anticipation, the practice itself is a pretty mundane practice. Now I did see Jagger Burton leave the practice field with some sort of injury, come back without his helmet. So that is not the start you want to get to your first day of camp. We talked about Keyshawn Nixon a little bit earlier and the guys that are on the physically unable to perform list. Brandon Cisse getting some work with the ones. And again, not knowing the specifics of Keyshawn's injury. What did Tausch always teach us, right? Every time you're not out there, you're giving someone else an opportunity to take your job. And he never wanted to do that. And if you have legitimate injury and you can't be out there, yeah, you don't belong out there. But opportunity for Anthony Belton, who theoretically was going to be challenged by Jagger Burton at right guard. Opportunity for Brandon Cisse. Opportunity for Chris McClellan, their third-round pick, the defensive tackle. No Javon Hargrave right now as he's on the PUP list. So these first few practices may not be the most riveting, but they are important, and it's good to get off to a good start. And certainly those players are certainly aiming for getting off to those strong starts to draw coaches' attention. I got to admit, Jesse, you've done a great job all three of these days. I really appreciate you stepping in. I do miss when I'm at a practice like today, like Tausch he's done this. Like none of us have, he knows what this is like. And,
well, I tried asking Bulaga all about it earlier, and Bulaga's just like, training camp sucks. First week sucks. Nothing's oh, great. We get to go back and we get to practice in 90-degree heat with pads. That's great. Like, I miss Tausch today, too. Buzzkill Bulaga really brought down the vibe.
Sounds to me like Brian's still mad at me for not being on the Homer Hour when I was off last week.
Probably.
I clearly have to make it up to him.
And
well, that doesn't bring out the best in him. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, our show's almost done. Your day's not done yet, though. What player do you want to talk to most after we're done here?
Well, I assume we're going to talk to Jordan Love the first day. I will say this. I do want to talk to Keyshawn Nixon. He is number one on my list. If I see him, I am going to try to speak with him, whether or not he says anything. I'll make sure I frame it differently when I appear on the show tomorrow. Although Tausch isn't here to try and make something out of nothing. All right. Jesse, thanks for making the trip up. I will try and say hello before you depart for home practice scheduled to end in about 15 minutes or so.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation.